Hey all, Todd here, itinerant hobbyist. Just got off a paint chat with Matt, Jordan, Dave, James, Chris, and a few others. I thought I'd just wrap it up here and say what I got done. So, did a little proofing on Blitzkrieg Commander 3.1, and then tried to make some of my own basing material. And involving vinyl spackling, paint, and sand. And then when I apply it, I put it in this little container here with some Elmer's glue to, I guess, create a hardener. And that's all fine and dandy. You can't really tell, you can sort of tell on here, but it's a very light brown. And then when applied on there, you can see it is not brown like that even. It's a very light brown. So I thought, well, and we think, and I think they're correct, Apple Barrel didn't have enough pigment for what's there. So it needs to be a higher quality paint. So, and I dumped, actually probably not half a bottle, but the other problem, it was making this too runny. So it was getting very, very watery. So, lesson learned. The big lesson, better quality paint. I don't think it'd have to be darker, just better quality than Apple Barrel. This stuff works fine. So what I'll do is then I'll just do a little bit of painting when this is dry. Paint it with that brown. So I'm adding a step, but it's fine because I wanted to try working with it. I think if it wasn't so thin, the sand might be, it's hard to tell. It's got some texture. I think it'll be fine. It'll be enough to add texture so when you dry brush it'll do that, and then of course I'll drop a little bit of flock. So some of these had already been painted and started, and as you can see some of these weren't. I guess I'll do these here too, these 1/72, just to try it out. So some of these hadn't been painted, so I'm going to paint them with the basing on there. And then some of these I added, they'd already been started painting, so I just need to kind of touch them up. These have already been primed. So these here won't be obviously paint. I guess no, I'm not going to paint them again. But then some of these just need to be touched up. So I'll prime it with it. And then I also did the trees here. So I don't know, I guess a pretty good night. It seems slow, but it always seems slow to me. But you know, this is how you finish it. You just work on it a little bit at a time. So that's pretty much what I did. Oh, and you can see it got so watery, so I did like half a container and started adding I put the white in here, and then I started mixing this up with half. It started just filling up. The paint really added a lot of, I'm adding that much stuff in there. So I ended up dumping half of it out, and another half of it, so a quarter of it, and hoping it would, the consistency would be right, and never quite got it right. So, whatever. Lesson learned. What else? I think that's all I did. And like I said, I proofed some Blitzkrieg Commander. I was going to prime those tanks over there. They were Russian 1/72 that Matt gave me, along with 100 of these guys. Well, 50 of the Russians and 50 Germans. But it is 72% humidity out there, so there will be no spray priming. And that's right now what I have is spray primer. So I think that's all. So I just wanted to come on here and do this, and instead of shooting a video and then uploading a finished video, I wanted to do it this way. So I think that's all I got, boys and girls. So what's next on the list? So I guess paint the bases, paint these bases, finish painting these guys, and if I can, I don't have any brush-on primer. I think I'm going to try the brush-on primer, but right now I have Russian uniform and German uniform, so I'm going to do that. But I have to wait for the humidity to get down. On my list of things to do here, written on my table with a dry erase. So paint bases, work on some of the terrain and get that done. And then once I kind of make sure I have all the paints I need, I will crank out these 170. Well, crank out. It's a relative term. Crank out the 1/72 scale. And get those things done, and then try out another game of either Bolt Action or Disposable Heroes 2. I feel like I want to give DH2 another try again. Yeah, I need to try it out again. So I've had 2 games of that. So that's that. Mate, thanks for the 2 to 4 people who have watched during this. Appreciate that. And I think we're going to call it a night so I can get ready to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for my job. All right? Hey, y'all. Do great. Have fun modeling and fun gaming. See you later.